What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, take a guess at where we are. We're down here at the radar array, making our way down to wherever the heck this abandoned bunker is down here. To me, it still kind of looks like it might be that, but I'm not 100% sure. But, anywho, we're down here. We're going to check to see what we might be able to find here, because there is some decent stuff here, if memory serves. The problem is the bike is kind of loud. And as you can see, we got friendos. Also, I apologize if you guys can hear, that's not what I wanted. My dog making noises in the background. They love to do that when I'm trying to record a video. Let's see. I have switched up my loadout a little bit. I switched over to the M9 instead of the Block 21. So we'll see how that all works out. Okay, I'm not noticing much decay in here. I noticed on our multiplayer server, though, that since this latest hotfix where the devs supposedly fixed the decay issue, the decay has actually gotten significantly worse for us. Most of our stuff is now ruined. So that's really unfortunate. I don't know if... God, there's a lot of them here. I don't know if, doing a soft wipe on the server would fix it or not. I hope that we don't have to do that. But the point is, this hotfix that was supposed to, remedy the rapid decay did not work at all on our server. In fact, it made things worse. Are there buildings here? God, it's been a long time since I've been here. I don't remember this location particularly well. I do remember that there's sometimes, maybe, possibly, stuff at the top of those towers. But oftentimes not. So, I don't know if we're going to climb those or not. We're probably not going to climb them on camera just because that'll take a whole frickin' episode in and of itself, just climbing that. Trying to keep an eye out for goobers and stuff. There's some of them. I would like to kind of skirt around them as much as possible. I know this thing's not great for off-road, but we'll make it work. This place looks a lot different from what I remember. There's the buildings. Okay, I was right. There is buildings here. Now, those of you that have been with the channel for a little while may remember... Ooh, good grief, there's a lot of them. May remember, the last time I was up here did not go well. We ended up triggering a swarm that, it ended up being, I think... Uh-oh. I don't want you on full auto. I want you on semi. Wait a minute. What? There we go. But, yeah, we ended up triggering a horde that was, I lost count at 65 puppets the last time. But I also remember that Mr. Happy likes to get stuck in the floor of this building. So hopefully that does not happen. Give me my bow, please. Yep, there's a Happy. Happy. I really don't want to just go in blind there when I know that there's a Happy in there. Also, for those of you that are new to the channel, I call the explodey puppets Mr. Happy because they're always laughing. So when you hear me refer to Mr. Happy or just Happy or whatever, whoops, you're not the one I intended to hit. Oh. That's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the explodey puppets. Now, there's a security office on the roof of this building, or there used to be anyway. I hope it's still there. Hey, you have another arrow of mine. Give it back. I need as many of those as possible. Thank you. Thank you. This area looks different than I remember. But I mean, it's been a long time since I've been up here, and I don't usually come up here. So, maybe it has always looked this way. I don't know. Right now I'm not going to collect any of that stuff because we're limited on inventory space with the bike. You know, after we do this and go hit that secret bunker, wherever the hell it is, I'm probably going to make a trek over to the traders so that we can get some extra storage on the bike. And once we have that sorted out, are you usually you're missing a front tire? Of course you are. Always missing the front tire. And a battery. Awesome. Okay. That's unfortunate. We could, in theory, store stuff in that for the time being if we need to. Yeah, it has been a long time since I've been up here. The last time I was up here was well before 1.0. So they hadn't yet done the terrain rework and everything like that. So, stuff looks very, very different than what I remember. Now, you shush. I'm hoping to find some more yellow screwdrivers. We can drop a lot of this stuff if we need to. That's not a yellow screwdriver. That's a shillelagh. That's not a yellow screwdriver, but it'll do, I suppose. I really like the gunpowder stacks now. Hey, what the... Noticing it seems to be taking stuff off of my hotbar. Now the backpack I switched. I don't remember is that the one that we got off of the loot puppet? I don't remember. Anyway. At some point recently I got a cargo drop. I don't believe I took your plant. I didn't take you guys along for that. It happened in between recording videos, and I did not feel up to trying to record just for a cargo drop. For a second there, this vending machine with the two bottles, it looked like a pair of pants from a distance over here at first glance. See, if you're just glancing across, it kind of looks like a pair of pants. Thought, oh, hey, they added pants vending machines. That's handy. You know, you never know when you might need a pair of pants. I kind of wish you could climb these. Where's the happy? I really hate it when I know there's a happy, but he's quiet. If memory serves, they like to get stuck like either in this staircase, so they're like drop through the map, or just underneath the floor here. That's what I recall anyway. Can I get in there? I can't get in there. Yes, I can. Oh, good. There's a pair of... Oh, no, that's a beanie. Okay, I thought that was a pair of underwear. Like, fantastic. That's really what I want. Well, and there was a whole bunch of nothing there. That's all fine and well and good. I hate having to go prone to get through things like that. Just because you're extremely vulnerable when you're doing that. There you are. You're up that way. Okay. As long as I know where you are, then I'm okay with you being there, Hap. I don't like surprises, especially your kind of surprises, because they're not very friendly. You know, you tend to be a little, you don't respect personal space very well. Now, I highly doubt that there's really anything of use in most of these, but the whole reason I'm searching these at all is to try to find some more yellow screwdrivers. Or just screwdrivers in general, but preferably yellow. Warp warp. Problem is there's not a whole lot to search in here. How many of you guys like coming up to this location? I like it from the standpoint of it's different. You know, you go through small towns and, you know, military locations, and words not forming gooderly today. But they just kind of get repetitive, you know? So I like places that are different like this. Like the museum, which I think... Where was the museum? Is that the museum? Or no, I think the museum's... The museum's right in there, if memory serves. We'll go check that out at some point soon as well. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's kind of a cool location. Not overly practical, although you used to be able to find, like, swords and bows and arrows and stuff like that there. I don't know if you still can, because that used to be the whole reason to go to the castle as well. For those of you that don't know, this right here is a castle. And that used to be a really good location to go early on to get a good bow and a bunch of arrows. And then since 1.0, they kind of nerfed it. Ooh. Conditions my armor. It's fine for right now, but we'll take it for the moment. I don't want to load up on too much stuff, because again, like I said, we are... The hell is that? Stockings. Huh. Can I just put those on underneath stuff as an extra layer of insulation? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. We'll do that. They're kind of like the yoga pants, I would imagine. But yeah, see, there's just not a whole lot here. Other than, like I say, the security lockers on the roof. You, rotten egg, no thank you. Duct tape. We're good on duct tape back at base. We're good on water. I have gone ahead and kind of sort of organized stuff back at base. It's not super well organized, but it's better than just kind of the hodgepodge that it was. You know, for as many puppets as there were outside, there's none in here. Not complaining, because in here with the close quarters and stuff, things can go bad quickly, especially if there's a happy involved. Control room. Ooh. I forgot there was this little storage room here. Am I carrying any bolts at all right now? No. Yeah, that's great. I guess we can start picking up bolts. We need them for construction purposes. I don't care about the barbed wire right now. I'm not going to bother taking up a shoulder slot with a melee weapon. You know, we've got a sidearm, we've got a UMP with 4 magazines, we got a bow, and the military survival knife actually seems to be a pretty decent melee weapon. So let's see, I came through here because we came up that way. Okay. Well, let's poke our head into the control room over here. Oh, Happy's down there. Is that him right there? I think that's him right there. If we can get up to the roof, we could take him out from... Oh. There's the control room. There's not a whole lot here that I'm... In fact, there's nothing here that I'm aware of. I would love to see them add something here. Or, you know, add just a reason to come here. These windows open? Yeah. Well, that's not what I'd intended, but... That's fine, though. I had intended to blow him up, but, you know, that's okay. But yeah, as far as I know, there's not really a reason to search down there, unless... Might any of these have yellow screwdrivers? Probably not. There's a red screwdriver. Let's see, one of you had some bolts. Give me those, please. Can I climb back up on top of these? Because I don't want to have to... Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, okay. Good, we can get back up to there from that, then. Good, because I... Like I said, there's not a whole lot of reason to search most of this here. Is there even anything else down here? No, not really. Okay. Back upstairs we go, then. No, don't climb over it like that, you stupid. There we go. Yeah. I'm very curious as to what he finds so funny. You know... But I'm the type of person that I'll laugh at just any random stupid things. Like, I've started laughing at just numbers before. I remember back in high school. Whoop, hang about your fishing bait. Back in high school, me and a friend were in. We were in study hall doing homework, and it was math homework, and for whatever reason, we found the number 5 to be hilarious. And I mean, like, rolling on the floor hilarious. I don't know why, but yeah, we were working on a math problem, and we got pissed off at the problem because it was one of those that the way they worded it, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And when we eventually got to the answer, I don't remember if the answer was 5 or not, but anyway, just we got we got upset with the number 5 and then just found it hilarious to laugh at. There we go. And we had everybody else in the study hall laughing too. Not because they thought it was funny, that they found the number 5 funny, but because they were laughing at us. Even the teacher was sitting there just rolling on the floor laughing, not even knowing why he was laughing. It was just because we were laughing, everybody else started laughing. So it was an interesting day. It certainly made things less boring. Okay, but you see we got some security lockers up here. Sorry, that was a random story that probably nobody cares about, but... Oh, I'm really liking this slider situation here. Okay, now, what that? Because I don't want you to keep using my dang yellow screwdrivers. Especially when you keep using the same frickin' one. I mean, it's in good condition. I'm not going to use it, but we'll take it. Eh, 22s. No. Hey, damn it. Ow. Poop. I didn't mean to back out of that. I saw that it was using the yellow screwdriver, and I was like, no, I don't want to use that one. Well, it still used it up, you stupid. Oh, those I'll take. Man, this really wasn't worth it, was it? We got a deagle and a little tiny bit of ammo. Well, I've found some really good stuff up here before, but not today, apparently. Well, since we didn't, maybe we will go ahead and climb up those. It's going to be a boring climb, but you guys can choose to skip that part of the video if you like. But we might find something good. I have found some really good stuff up there. I've gone up there and found like a SCAR DMR. I've found M249s. So you can find some good stuff. There's not a side ladder or anything, is there? I'm going to have to go all the way back down through the building, huh? Well, that's unfortunate. Now, I don't know why, but I don't like watching the third-person animation for the sprint. I don't know why, I just really dislike it. Now, do you guys prefer third or first person? I ask this often, just from the standpoint of we're always getting new people coming to the channel, so I like to try to interact with everybody and see what everybody likes. Me personally, most of the time I prefer first person, just because it's easier to interact with things. Now, which side of the... Those are to the north, I think. No, they're not. They were to the south. Fantastic. But for me, first person is just easier to interact with things, and for me, as the player, it's more immersive. Now, for, as viewers, you guys may prefer third person. I don't know. I like third person from the standpoint of you do have better kind of situational awareness, and I do really like the character models in SCUM. My problem with third person is a lot of the time it just doesn't feel very realistic. Like, I wouldn't be, like, right now we're kind of slow jogging through the brush over here. I wouldn't be doing that normally. Most of the time in a situation like this, you're probably going to be just walking like so. And I like watching that because that feels realistic. But it's slow and it's boring to watch, Well, let's partake of the hour-long climb to get up there, just to find nothing. But then also see sometimes third person kind of bugs out like this. But, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. For driving the vehicles in SCUM, it has to be third person. You almost can't drive the vehicles in first person. Just for the first person driving, they just do not have it set very well. The camera angles, or just the camera position in general, it's not good, So, for me, for driving, it's always third person. But for running around with my character, it's usually first person if I'm actually doing stuff or expecting any kind of action whatsoever. If I'm just running around looting, then I'll do third person. But if I'm expecting combat of any kind, I go first person. Just because aiming is a lot easier in first person. I really hope there's something up here. Also, I really wish I had like a Car 98 with a decent scope and a bunch of ammo for just sitting up here and picking off puppets down on the ground. It'd be great if we could find a Car 98 up here, huh? Just fully decked out Car 98. Well, nah, I say that. It would come with the Car 98 scope, most likely, and that's not the scope that you want for up here because it does not have a very good magnification level. I don't remember what the magnification on the car scope is, but it's pretty low. I much prefer just putting an improvised rail on it, and then I can attach whatever the heck I want. My personal favorite scope for the game. Sorry, I'm going to ramble just because we're climbing here, so there's really nothing else to do. But my personal favorite scope for SCUM right now is the Spectral DR scope. Just because, for me, it's the most practical. It's got actual built-in iron sights, rather than most of the scopes where you're just looking over the top of the scope. So it's got actual iron sights. But then the 2x magnification is perfect for just those slightly longer shots or even relatively close-up shots where you need something just a wee bit better than irons. Ew. We need to rest here, I'd say. But you don't want massive magnification. And then it goes up to, 6 times magnification? Which is plenty for most of the shots that I'm going to take. You know, I could definitely work with a 6 times magnification scope from up here. Would it be better to have a 12 or a 20 times? Sure. But I could work with a 6. So for me, the Spectral DR scope is just the most versatile optic. Sorry, I keep checking the vicinity here because sometimes there could be stuff up here. I don't know if there is anymore, but if you never know, there could be something just sitting on the ground that's like, oh hey. But if you don't check the vicinity, then you might miss it. Hey, there is some stuff up here. Would you look at that? Hey, night vision goggles. Those are valuable. How good are they? Not great, but they'll still sell. And there's that ultra rare, ultra powerful 38 special. Oh, man. Is there anything up that don't fall off the edge? What I may do, just to make this go a little bit faster for all of us, is disable fall damage and then drop all the way to the ground. I don't see anything up on top of these catwalks. That's unfortunate. It seems like there's so much wasted potential for this place. Also, I really wish that you could slide down the ladders or something. Da 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 da. Yeah. You know what? Let's come in here and do this. Let's see. Where's fall damage? Fall damage. There we go. For those of you that don't know, if you want to customize some settings really easily, come over here. Come into over to custom zones. And you can click on global configuration. And then you can come in here and you can disable. This is how we have well, no, actually it's not, but you can, disable any stuff like this. So if you want a PvE server, you can come in here and just block all player damage, puppet damage, razors and brenners. This is where you can turn those off now. Animal damage, armed NPCs, sentries and dropships. I just have all of that blocked just because I have them disabled on the server, but I have had it before where they do an update and it changes that setting to where they are back on the server, and I would rather not get brutally murdered by the sentries and the dropships. But here's where you can turn off fall damage, all of this stuff, damage to vehicles and base stuff. This is where you can do like what we have on the server, picking player locks. So this is how you can make it to where player locks cannot be picked. You can do things like chest parking and vehicle parking. What that is it's like in the outposts here. Okay, so the outposts pretty much have everything blocked. But what you can do, if you're especially on single player or if you're on a multiplayer server where you want to do it this way, you can come in and you can allow vehicle parking and chest parking in trader zones. And that means that your vehicles and chests will not despawn in the trader zones. So that way you don't have to worry about, if you log out in the, at the traders, you don't have to worry about your vehicle being gone when you come back in. So, anywho, yes. But so, yeah, you can come over to global configuration, and I'm just going to turn off fall damage, just so we can get out of here a little bit easier. Actually, you know what, just for this, because we're still going to hit the ground and we're still going to be, it's going to take us a minute to get up. I'm going to turn off puppet damage just for this. Once we get back on the ground and get up, we will turn puppet damage back on, but we're going to hit the ground. Our character's going to crumple, and bad things are going to happen, potentially, if we get swarmed by puppets. Now, for those of you that have a fear of heights, or get vertigo, or whatever, or if you just get that, feeling in your stomach when you're watching, something fall like this, feel free to look away here. But, here we go. And there we go. See, no harm, no foul. I will say, I get that, the feeling in my stomach doing that. So, anywho, there we go. We'll just, for right now, now screw it. Okay. Onward. Over to the other side so that we can spend the next 25 minutes climbing that ladder. See, now, like, this jogging speed, I'm okay with this. Whoop, hi. When you've got, like, a weapon drawn, you jog slightly slower, and it just feels unnatural. It feels like you're jogging in slow motion. And I dislike it. You know? I'm just trying to avoid the puppets here, just because there's so many of them. And you guys remember what happened at the abandoned bunker. You think that you're going to be triggering one of them, and then, hey, here comes all of their friends. So right now I'm just trying to avoid dealing with them. And I hope... Ah, crap. Whew. That was close. Can you go away for me, please? Go biff. Kapow. Thank you. Arrows. I'm going to search you just on the off chance you might have a screwdriver. You don't. You have other lockpicking stuff, but I don't need that stuff. I need screwdrivers. I need drive screwers. Now, I didn't even park the bike over here. Oh, crap. I parked the bike. Damn it. Why'd you guys let me do it backwards this way? We should have started down on this end and gone that way. Why'd you guys let me do that? I'm counting on you guys to be able to magically give me live advice when I'm doing stupid things like this. Even though you're not watching this until after I've already recorded all of it. Yeah, let's hold off for just a second. Build up some stamina again. Well, I gotta say, this location thus far has been disappointing. The security lockers on the roof, very disappointing. Again, sometimes you get decent stuff from there. Sometimes, like today, we kind of got crap. But it is what it is. And for that first tower over there, I mean, we got some night vision goggles, so Those are handy. Actually, can I repair those with the toolbox, or do I need electrician's tools for that? I probably need electrician's tools. But NVGs sell really well. You know what, let's find out. Because I don't remember, because I don't typically mess with them. Okay, no, I can't do anything. I'm actually not sure. Can you repair them? If you can, you probably need electrician's tools. But I can't remember if you can or not. Either way, it's still above 50%, so they'll still sell. They'll just sell for less. But from what I remember, the night vision goggles, if they're in good condition, like close to 100%, they'll go for, anywhere from $1,500 to $1,900. So that's pretty good. And for something that you can just kind of store on your head, it's like, might as well take them. Now, me personally, I don't like using the night vision goggles. I prefer the flashlights, but that's just personal preference. But maybe we'll use a pair of night vision goggles. But the thing is, I don't typically do much at night. You know, there's not a whole lot of reason to. I could see for PvP, night might work better because you could stay hidden easier. But in single player like this, there's really no reason to do anything at night. So when it gets to be nighttime, I just hunker down somewhere, cook some food, whatever, sort inventory. If I just want to quote unquote sleep in single player, I can just use admin commands to change the time. So, there's not a whole lot of reason for nighttime in single player. And I really wish that they would just have a sleep feature in single player. On multiplayer, I can see why it wouldn't work, because, obviously everybody has to be at the same time. But in single player, you're the only one here, so there's no reason not to have a sleep function. But I can see why implementing something like that would be less than efficient. And given all of the other stuff that the devs are working on, adding the ability to sleep in single player is not even remotely a priority, especially since you can change the time with admin commands. So you can quote unquote sleep. You can lay down, change the time to where it's, morning, and then get back up. And hey, there you go, you slept. Now, for those of you that are new to SCUM, and especially you're playing single player, we have access to admin commands. Everybody in single player has access to admin commands. Just hit T to bring up your chat box, and then hit hashtag or pound sign, whatever, and then type in whatever command. So if you wanted to change the time of day, you could do set time. And so you got all of this stuff: God mode, stamina, weather, super jump. Ooh, I don't remember that one. Yeah, you can come in and set your attributes. So if you don't feel like having to grind, you can come in and just set all of those. Fame points, skill levels, all of this stuff. Yeah, infinite ammo. So you can do a whole lot here with these. Anywho, you can also spawn things in. So you just do like spawn item, and then you can start typing whatever, and then it'll bring up suggestions for stuff, or vehicles, etc. You do spawn vehicle, and then you can just select whatever you want. So anyway, most of you probably already know that, but those of you that are new to SCUM, you have access to admin commands in single player. So if you're looking for ways to make the game a little bit easier, or you just want to play around with stuff, or like me, you just don't really see a point to nighttime on the server, or if the weather is really crappy, you can change all of that. Now, for stuff like the weather and time, you're just going to put in a number. Well, I mean, that's actually pretty decent there. It's not really a rifle that I would use. And it doesn't have a magazine. But I don't remember what the capacity on this thing is. But me personally, I prefer the Carbon Hunter. But we'll see. We might play around with that a little bit. Put a decent scope on it. Okay, anywho. Back to getting down. Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to make you guys watch that again. There's not really a whole lot more to do here. So I think we're going to go ahead and call this episode. Oh, what I was talking about real quick with the numbers. Like for the time, you're just going to put in a number between 1 and 24. And that's going to correspond to the hour of the day. And then for weather, it's going to be 1 through 5. And I think 1 is good weather and 5 is bad weather, if memory serves. I could be wrong on that, but if you want to fiddle with that, you can play around with it. But anywho, hey, there's the irradiated zone. And you can see where the trees change colors. So we're going to be heading down that way next time. I don't know if we're going to actually go into the city much. We'll see. I've done a couple of videos exploring the irradiated zone in the past, so for those of you that would like to see what the irradiated area looks like, go check out those videos. But we may snoop around a little bit. We'll see. Let me know. Let me know if you guys would like to see us snoop around the irradiated area this time. While we're down that way, there's nothing there. There's a city and whatnot, but there's just generic loot. There's nothing fancy. That's no big military outposts or anything like that. And literally everything you find is going to be irradiated. So don't eat any food. Don't wear any clothing that you find there. The clothing and stuff you can wash. You'll need soap. So to remove radiation, yeah, you'll have to use soap and to wash it good. But yeah, don't eat any of the food. And like any gear that you have, backpacks, even like night vision goggles, this kind of stuff. I believe all of this stuff will get irradiated. So don't take anything in that you're not willing to lose. Which is why we're going to park the bike outside the radiation zone and walk in. I didn't bring any soap with which to clean the backpack, though. That's unfortunate. When we put the backpack back in, it's going to contaminate stuff, so that's not good. I don't remember if like, weapons will get irradiated or not. They should, but there's no way to remove it from them, so I don't know. If memory serves, they didn't get it before. It was just like things that you could actually clean or food that, you just don't eat it. But anywho, let me know if you guys want us to actually wander around the irradiated zone or if we just want to hit the secret bunker and then get the heck out. So, with all of that being said, we are going to call it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it wasn't super duper exciting, but it showcased kind of this location here. Again, me personally, it's not worth coming here unless you just like the view. It's kind of a neat location, but the loot is really not worth it unless there's something here that I'm missing, which is entirely possible. If there's like a secret basement in here that's got a crap ton of military hardware, let me know in the comments because I would love to know. Because otherwise, it just seems kind of pointless. But anywho, um, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate you hitting that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd greatly appreciate you doing that. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know that you like what I do and you'd like to see more. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and plug the links in the description. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So if you'd like to support either of those charities, please go check out those links. I thought that was something to pick up. Then we've got my Discord server, as well as the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. That is the multiplayer server that I do all my live streams on. It is a nice, chill PvE server. We have player damage turned off, as well as player locks are not pickable. So you don't have to worry about getting killed by other people or having your stuff stolen or your base broken into. So it's a nice chill server. The settings are pretty similar to what I've got here on my single player. So we've got, in theory, decent puppet numbers, decent animal numbers, no mechs, no dropships, nothing like that. So if you're just looking for a nice chill server to hang out on, meet some good people, or you're new to the game and you're looking for a safe server to get started on, come check us out. Go check the link in the description for the Discord page. Read the server rules. And if it sounds like something you'd like to try, get in touch with either myself, Necros, or Cornbread through Discord. We are the admins for the server, and we can get you set up with the password. And then we've got my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including ambient rain videos, comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she posts informational content on various haunted locations, as well as some evidence that we have captured because we are amateur paranormal investigators. And then we do family live streams over there where we play games like Phasmophobia and Ghost Exile. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.